Alright, y'all. Today we're going to be experimenting with how to achieve a simmer in the solo stove campfire. The idea is to lift the pot higher above the stove so that the heat is not so aggressive, and that we can get a simmer and cook some beans or maybe some rice. So today I've got two different iron grates. This one that I salvaged off an old gas stove, like an apartment stove. And this iron grate that I just found around the house that I rent. So the idea is also to not only raise the pot off higher off the stove, but this iron grate is also going to absorb some of the heat and help spread it around the bottom of the pot instead of all just so aggressive in one spot. And the idea is maybe if I need to get it higher, I can put this one on top, or any combination of the grate on top, one grate on top of the other. So okay, we're going to light the fire. As you can see, I've got the stove loaded fairly densely with thick sticks. I want to try to achieve a long burn, so that's the most efficient way. Also, you notice maybe that the secondary burn holes are not blocked. All the sticks come just right up to the holes. I put the pot stand, I'll light the fire. It's one of my homemade fire starters. Vaseline soaked in a cotton ball. They're really easy to make. There's a video in the playlist for the solo stove on my channel. You'll find the link in the description how to make those fire starters. We're going to put the pot stand on. And now we'll add the heavy iron grate. I want to make sure I'm going to put it off center so that I still have access to the fire hole. I might choose to add some firewood later. But I think I just want to use this one load of firewood. To simmer some water. That's a nice stock pot there. Got 3 liters of water measured out here. We're going to add it to the pot. Ambient temperature today is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Got some smoke coming off of that Vaseline and that fire starter. Should just take a minute or two to get the fire going inside to ignite the wood. Alright, we're about a minute in. Looks like the wood's starting to ignite. I'm going to start a stopwatch. Just to see how long of a simmer we can get. So I'm going to leave the lid on until we come to a boil. Then I'm going to take the lid off and see if we can maintain a simmer without the lid. Maybe we won't even come to a boil. Again, the idea is we want to simmer a pot of beans or a stew for a long time. We'll see how long we get out of this burn. Alright, I'm going to pause the camera, but I'm going to leave the stopwatch rolling. And I'm going to walk away for a couple minutes. I'm James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. Alright, I'm out. Alright, we're 6 minutes in. And my fire went out. I gotta maybe do another fire starter. Shouldn't have walked away. It's a bit hot, so I'm gonna use a towel. My firewood's perhaps too dense, and it didn't have enough combustible material to get it going. So I'm gonna put one fire starter, another fire starter, and now I have to find my lighter. Alright, I had to run inside. Had to run inside and find my lighter. That one's going. They're both going. Alright, about just before the 9-minute mark, we've relit the fire. And we'll get it going. Eventually that firewood's gonna light. It's real windy today and noisy in New Orleans. All right. Wow. Don't try this at home, kids. All right, pot stand's going back on. Heavy iron grates going back on. Pot of 3-liter pot of water's going back on. We're at the 10-minute mark and the water's back on. That firewood's going to ignite any moment now. It's an experiment. Thanks for checking it out with me. We're going to figure out how to simmer a pot on the Solo Stove Campfire. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to let that roll for a minute, a couple of minutes, and then I'll see you in the next clip. James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. All right, y'all. We're at the 14-minute mark. Secondary burn starting to go good. We got a good hot fire going. Let's take the temperature of the water inside the pot. Okay, the water in the pot is at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really hot. I think it's going to come to a boil pretty quickly. Just crossed the 15-minute mark. So the idea about a simmer is to bring the temperature of the water up quickly as possible. And then you want to bring it down to a simmer and can maintain the simmer as long as possible as well. Like, for instance, making a soup or a stew or a pot of beans. Something that takes a long fire. Alright, I'm James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to keep the stopwatch going. We just crossed the 16-minute mark. I'll catch you in the next clip. Peace out. Alright, y'all. We just crossed the 20-minute mark. We're going to take the temperature of the water inside the pot right now. See what's going on. I can see some steam coming up off the water. Pull out my thermometer. Okay, we're at the 21-minute mark. 128 degrees Fahrenheit. We're on the way to that boil. The Solo Stove Campfire is a pretty cool stove. Had it just over a year. Cooked quite a bit of food on it. It's almost always high heat though. So we're experimenting here with trying to maintain a simmer. Thanks for joining me in the experiment. Alright, I'm going to make a cut here. I'll catch y'all in the next clip. James J. Reid, like, share, subscribe. Peace. Alright, we're about to cross the 27-minute mark. And we're going to take the temperature of the water inside the pot. You can see steam coming up off the top of the water. We're at just over 27 minutes and we're at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. We've used up about half of the fuel source. Coming up on 28 minutes on the Solo Stove Campfire Simmer Experiment. This grate seems to be working fine. I think I'm gonna find some more firewood and continue on with the simmer to see how long we can simmer the pot. Alright. James J. Reid, like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next clip. Peace. Alright, y'all. We have just come to a rolling boil. We have just crossed the 33-minute mark on our experiment. Sorry, we can't really see that. Anyway, we just crossed the 33-minute mark on the experiment. We have a good hard boil. As I take it off, it comes down to hard rolling boil. I'm gonna have to add the second riser. I have to get a towel. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back with a towel. I'm going to take this pot off. We're going to add the secondary riser. We're going to put the pot on this secondary riser. We're a total of about 2 inches above where the pot would normally be. We have a good simmer. Not quite as, yeah, we have a simmer. I'm going to add a little bit of fuel. We're about half done with our fuel, I think. Actually, probably a little more. I'm going to add some dense fuel and a few pieces that are easily combustible. Not too much though, I don't want to get it too much hotter. We're at the 36-minute mark. On the stopwatch, that includes the false start with the fire going out. I've added a few more sticks for fuel. We'll take the temperature. We're at 209 degrees Fahrenheit, just below a boil. That's what I want. Let's see how hot it gets with that added wood. Alright, I'm going to cut away. I'm James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. We're running a solo stove campfire experiment. Trying to figure out how to do a long-term simmer. We're at the 37-minute mark in our project. I'll catch you in the next clip. Peace. Alright, y'all, we're back. Checking out our experiment. We have just crossed the 44-minute mark. My plan is to take this, I'm going to start a new stopwatch, and we're going to simmer for an hour from now. So we just started at 0. I've been going about half an hour, 40 minutes, simmering. I want to continue to simmer for another hour. I've previously added a little bit of firewood. This time I'm going to bulk it up. Some heavier hardwood. Some lighter combustible material. Easily combustible material. A few of those. Another bigger piece of heavier hardwood. Can we get it in there? Easy. Yeah, it's in there. A couple more pieces of more smaller, easily combusted material. I think that's enough. We're going to try to continue for one more hour of simmering. Take the temperature of the water. (202 degrees). Last time we were at 209. The fire died down some. We've been rolling a simmer for about 20 minutes now. Took about 20 minutes to get the pot of water up to the boil. Since I added more fuel, the fire has gotten hotter. I can see tiny bubbles at the bottom of the pot. I'm going to use my poker. Get that fuel down in there and get it just down in there. Another temperature reading, center of the pot. We're already up to 205, 206 degrees. Oh, now we got the good secondary burn going. Coming up to a strong simmer at the bottom of the pot. It's been 3 minutes since we added fuel. We're 3 minutes into our 1 hour simmer. Alright, we're experimenting with the Solo Stove Campfire today. Call it a camp stove. It's a secondary burn wood stove. I see some bigger bubbles coming up to the top. We're about 4 minutes. I just added some fuel about 4 minutes ago. We're at 210 degrees. Strong simmer. I'm afraid we might come to a boil. Maybe I added too much fuel. Yeah, we are boiling. A light boil. $211. I'm cool with that. It's not a strong boil, but it's a light boil as the firewood burns off. It come to a good hard. It's a hard simmer, is what I'd call it right now. James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna cut away. I'll catch you in the next clip. Peace. Alright, y'all, we're back. Solo Stove Campfire Long Fire Simmer Experiment. We're just coming across the 12 minutes into our continuing simmer. Trying to get us hour-long simmer. Time to add some more wood. First, I'm gonna add some easily combustible lighter material to get the flame going easily. We'll give that a few seconds to ignite. We already got some secondary burn going on there. Now I'm gonna add some heavier hardwood chunks. Really heavy hardwood chunk. Had a hard time getting that in last time. Heavy chunk. Just some lighter wood, but a bigger piece. Just crossed the 13-minute mark. Still got a good simmer going on. 209 degrees. With all that fuel added, it's going to go up. But I think with the height we have and the 2 iron grates, maybe about 2 inches above where it would normally sit on the Solo Stove Campfire. We're having a successful simmer experiment here. We've been going hard on a simmer 25 minutes or so. We're going to try to simmer for another 45 minutes. For a total of about an hour and a half. We're at a boil now. (211 degrees Fahrenheit by this thermometer). But it's a good soft boil. I gotta be careful how much fuel I add. I didn't need to add so much, maybe. It'll burn down quickly. It's a good strong fire. I think I did add too much fuel. Alright, we're gonna let that burn for a little while. James J. Reid, I'm out. Catch you in the next clip. Alright, we're back. Got a little too strong of a boil going on, so I'm going to add half a cup or so of water. It's going to bring the temp of the pot down quite a bit. Sun's going down. I had to break up my backup light. Beautiful sunset sky here in South Louisiana, New Orleans. We're back at a simmer. I got bubbles at the bottom of the pot. Adding that little bit of cool water will give this fire a chance to burn down. I'm gonna use my poker to put that fuel further down into the There's not much fuel in there. I did add heavy fuel last time though. Temperature of the water right now, center of the pot is 202 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to let it burn a little more. No need to add any fuel right now. We're back at a simmer. It's always good to have some cool water on hand to help you maintain your simmer. For instance, sometimes it takes 2 hours to cook a pot of beans. I believe now it's totally achievable. You do have to tend the fire maybe every 10 minutes or so. So yeah, Solo Stove Campfire Experiment. How to do a slow cooking dish on your Solo Stove Campfire, like a soup or a stock or pot of beans. Just crossed the 20-minute mark into our last timer we set. 40 minutes to go till we hit our hour of a simmer of an hour and a half. I'd say we've used about 2.5 full loads of firewood. A mixture of hard wood and chunks and sticks, and some softer woods thrown in there too. James J. Reid, like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next clip. Alright, we're back. It's time to add more fuel. We're about half hour away from our goal of a hour and a half simmer. 206 degrees right now. Gonna add some fuel. Not much down there, just one big kind of lump of that big piece of hardwood I put in there. Gonna put some small stuff that's easily combusted, get the fire going. We're gonna add these, they're good sized chunks of a light wood. I'm not real sure what the wood is. Might be balsa. A little chunk of hardwood there. That's probably enough to get the fire going. We're about half hour away from our goal of simmering a pot of water for an hour and a half. We got 30 minutes to go. Just added some more fuel. I've put fuel in like every 10 minutes, sometimes a little longer. Sometimes I put too much fuel. We're learning. This is an experiment with the Solo Stove Campfire. I'm James J. Reid. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a high school band practicing in the distance. They're pretty good. That's New Orleans for you. Alright, we'll take the water temperature. The secondary burn is going again. We're at 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty much right where we want to be. Could probably go up a little. The whole reason I bought this Solo stove is because I live in the New Orleans, and that's in the hurricane zone. A good portion of the year we have a threat of power outages, and needed a way of cooking the food that was left over in the fridge and the storage food we have for when there's long-term power outages. My stove inside is definitely an electric stove, so after a couple of DIY builds and then trying to do advanced DIY builds, drilling into stainless steel, finding it too difficult, I just went ahead and bought the Solo Stove Campfire, which is, you know, big enough to cook for a small family. Pretty good stove. Alright, we got a good little fire going. A little less than 30 minutes till we reach our goal. I'm gonna add two more pieces of fuel. We're gonna let that burn a little while and come back and check in. We've got about a half hour left to go. A little less, 28 minutes. I'm James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next clip. Solo Stove Campfire, Long Fire, Simmer Experiment. This is the key. You just gotta tend the fire. Peace out. Catch you in the next clip. Alright, we're back. My fire almost went out. I had to quickly add a little bit of light fuel. And we have got 15 minutes to go on our experiment. The fire's coming back up now. We're at 196 degrees. I was inside washing dishes. Got away from me. I caught it just in time though. We got some flame going, the light material, the light chunks. I'm gonna throw some heavier, what looks like maple in there. 2 pieces of that maple. That's some lighter balsa, I think. Alright, the flame's coming back up. Secondary burn's going again. That was real quick. Temp of the water should be coming up. (198 degrees Fahrenheit). It's a good strong burn really quickly. I'll use my poker to spread things around down there at the bottom. Use quite a bit of fuel in this experiment. Some lighter wood, some hardwood, some heavier gauge sticks, and some chunks. I think I'm going to pull it off. I think I might do a how to make chicken stock on the Solo Stove video, how to make red beans, New Orleans style. Gotta cut some more wood tomorrow. Alright, we got about 14 minutes left in our experiment. Trying to get an 1.5 hour burn. Simmer a pot. The system I came up with is these 2 iron grates here to get the pot maybe 2 inches up off of the original pot stand. You could probably use, I have another higher pot stand that I might try that's just wire. I think this heavy iron grate on the bottom helps diffuse the heat some too. I think I can pull off rice in the future as well. Alright, James J. Reid, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to add a little more wood. And we got about 12 or 13 minutes left before we're finished. I'm going to cut away. James J. Reid. Peace. Alright, we got about 5 minutes left in our goal of a long simmer on the Solo Stove Campfire. Just going to add a little light material to bring the flame back up. We're at 205 degrees. Looks like we've lost about 1 liter of water to evaporation. Alright, we just crossed the 4-minute mark. We're like less than 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes. I'm going to call that success. Solo Stove Campfire Simmer Experiment. The key is to raise the pot higher up off the pot stand, however you can. I had these grates. I'll experiment with some other things in the future. Thanks for joining me with this experiment. Solo Stove Campfire, James J. Reid. Like, share, subscribe. I am out. Peace. Catch you in the next video.